the drill. We're going to count down and I'm going to give you guys some value. So, without further ado, from India, well, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. That's super, super cool. You guys on TikTok, man, I'm going to have to decline. You guys are asking to join the broadcast, but I'm going to do this live. So maybe we'll do that another time, Tyler. Okay. All right. So, without further ado, let's get into today's episode in 3, 2, and 1. What is going on, mother truckers? Welcome back to another episode of the Shift Your Mind, Change Your Life podcast. This is your favorite online coach, Coach Sal. Let's get it. In today's episode, I'm asking you guys the question. We're breaking down this topic. Do you feel like one bad day in your fitness journey erases your progress? Do you feel that maybe if you fall off track on the weekends, you go out, maybe you go to a barbecue, right? You go to a restaurant, you see some friends and family, you feel like you're letting your progress slip through your fingers. If you could resonate with that at all, that's what we're going to be covering here in today's podcast episode. Maybe you catch yourself saying things like, I'm on this diet. If you guys have been here for a bit, you know I hate the word diet because it's just not something that feels good. And I posted reels about it. If you're constantly saying, I can't have this, I can't do that, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to fall into these patterns of binging, feeling like shit, and not getting what you want. And I don't want that for you. So we're going to unpack that a bit further in this episode. I'm super excited to give you guys some value because truthfully, that way of thinking is not reality, and that is not how you see substantial results in your fitness journey and in your life. And for those who are on the live, I like to close my eyes and really get into this here, okay? Look at you guys. You're really resonating with that, and I resonate with that too, and I'm actually going to briefly share a little bit about my story. So for those who don't know, I have been on my fitness journey for 10 years. I've been a coach now for almost 4 years. I am a competitive bodybuilder, and this is still something that creeps into my mind at times. Now, I've done I don't want to say I've made all the mistakes, but I really have, to be honest with you. I've done the cutting carbs, which is essentially keto. I've done just the chicken and lettuce and the hours of cardio. I used to train 1, 2, sometimes 3 times a day because I used to wake up, go for a run. Then I would go to the gym. And then at night I would play basketball and I would just run myself into the fucking ground. And I didn't have any idea on how many calories I should be having or what my macros are. I didn't even know what a fucking macro was, let alone understand what a food label is and how to really track that, and there's so many things that I could tell you guys throughout my journey, but just to keep it brief here for the sake of time, I lost 60 pounds in 2015 and then I gained it back. And then 2 years later, I lost 50 pounds, then gained it back again. And then I think there was one more time where I gained 40 pounds back in 2019, and then I lost it again. Now, I share that with you guys because I want you to understand if you're feeling that way, there is hope. If you feel like you're constantly on these diets and you're falling into these patterns and these cycles of falling off track and feeling like you need to binge and one bad day erases your progress, I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. This is not like a pitch. This is not any woo-woo shit. It's just the way that you're thinking about it is flawed. And I'm going to give you some tangible things to break down here in this episode so you can change your life because that's what it's about. Now, if you're a client of my program, you guys know I say this shit all the time. If you keep doing the same things, you will get the same result. That is the definition of insanity, is doing the same things over and over again. Then you're going to get what you've always gotten. Logically, that's what it is, okay? So I was actually talking to one of my clients last night about this. You can't act like them. And when I say you can't act like them, if you don't want to look like everybody else, you can't do what they do. Just sit in that for a moment and just really think about that for a second. And I say this a lot on this podcast too. Excuse me. I don't know what that was. I say a lot of the same things on this podcast because foundationally, sometimes it just takes a couple things for it to click in your mind. And one of the biggest things that really stands out to me is this statement right here. In order to get something you have never had, you have to be willing to do something you have never done. So chances are there's something that you need to be doing differently. I don't know what that looks like for you, but if you feel like you resonate with this title, then this may be for you. Okay. So that's simply the framework, is understanding that we need to think differently, which is what I'm going to give to you guys. And what's funny is that we go through school, right? And we have these teachers that we learn from, but then once we stop going to school, we stop learning. Maybe we don't read as frequently as we want to, or we don't listen to these podcasts and do all these things. But for me, I'm very big into coaching and mentorship for that reason. And that's another topic for another day, but I wanted to share that because all it takes is just you to shift a little bit about the way that you think about something to literally approach that differently for the rest of your life. And when you hear me say that, it's truthfully a powerful concept because you have the capacity to do that right now if you want. And that's why I do these episodes, is because I know that if you just hear one of these things, one day it might click for you, and that could be the change. And I have been on both sides of the spectrum, and I can tell you what, being in shape is a lot more fun than not being in shape. I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it because it is. I've been on both sides, and I want to get this for the recording. So give me 1 second here. I have been on both sides of the spectrum. Okay. I have been really out of shape, and I've been in really good shape. I consider myself in good shape right now. And being in good shape is a lot better. You have more energy. You have more confidence. Your clothes fit better. You just walk in a room differently. I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for the gym. And I actually am working on putting together a post. I didn't post it yet, but I made a talking reel the other day about how, like, yo, the gym saved my life. Like, before I really got consistent with my training, like 4 or 5 years ago, I was in a really difficult spot. I was constantly stressed out, overwhelmed, anxious. Like, I even thought like I was in a depression where I would just be like coming home from work, laying on the couch for hours, like mindlessly scrolling, stuffing my face with like bags of candy and like tubs of ice cream. I mean, yo, like, I had a real problem with sugar for a very long time. Like, you could ask my mom this, like, it was an issue. You know, she would go to the grocery store when I was younger and buy all these things. And then within days, like, all of it was gone. Like, I joke about it, like, because I could laugh about it now, but like, I really struggled for a very long time with binge eating. And as I get deeper and deeper into my fitness journey, and as I continue to work with some really high level coaches and learn every single day, and I've really been blessed to been able to connect with some really high level professionals in this environment and, you know, in the fitness industry, the things that I have been able to learn, it really is the way that you view it. It's your perception, it's your mindset. And it's crazy because everyone talks about mindset, right? But what does mindset mean? And it's foundationally breaking down a few things that we're going to cover. And personally, I think the biggest thing that cripples most people, let me know if you guys could resonate with this, is the all or nothing mentality. Do you guys feel like you need to do all of these things, right? Otherwise, you should just say, fuck it. Maybe you should just not do your workouts. Maybe you should just not do your steps because you didn't hit the mark. Like, for me, like, I did that for so long. Well, you know, I can't really do all my workouts, so I might as well just not do anything. I might as well just like go have a bunch of cheeseburgers and sit on the beach and have Coronas. Like, I've covered that before, but like, man, it's just crazy when I think back that I thought that way for so long. I thought carbs were the enemy. I thought that I had to do all this cardio, but it's just not the case. So now let's get into lessons, because I feel like I just said that shit like 5 times, you know, and I want to make sure you guys get value and be respectful for your time as well. So, number one, I'm going to be giving you guys 3 tips and then 1 bonus tip. Okay. And Demi, I do agree with you. It is mental health as well. Okay. So 3 tips and a bonus tip. The first one, and I want you guys to put this in the comments. Take some notes if you're driving. I get it. Like, maybe just kind of like screenshot where the episode is as you're listening to it. Go back later, because obviously I don't want you to crash while you're trying to take notes and drive. That's not good. Okay. Lessons to overcome the mindset of one bad day erasing your progress. Number one, it is not a marathon. It is not a sprint. So I want you guys to put that in the comments and just really think about that for a second. Again, 3 lessons to overcoming the mindset of one bad day erasing your progress in your fitness journey. Number 1, it is not a marathon or a sprint. Now, to break that down, we just need to do something every single day. Every single day. Now, each day can look different. Some days might just be walks. Some days might just be yoga. Some days might be meal prep. Some days might be all of that. Or maybe you have a complete rest day where you're doing nothing. I really don't think those exist. I used to do that. I used to call like Sundays my complete like cheat day and rest day and all the shit. Honestly, like, cheat days are bullshit. You know, complete rest days are bullshit. You should be walking every single day. You should try and stretch and do yoga as often as you can. Like, I'm not saying you need to be in the gym every single day, because recovery is a huge standpoint when it comes to getting results. If you're in the gym 5-6 days a week, I could even make the argument that you could potentially be overtraining. That's another concept for another day. Most of my clients train 3-4 days a week. I personally train 4 days a week. I just believe like getting steps every single day, obviously getting in quality nutrition, right? Getting quality sleep. We've covered that, but like foundationally, more of today's episode is going to be the mindset tactics and understand long-term how to make this shift into really cementing yourself and being successful in your fitness journey for life. Okay. So number one, it is not a sprint, because I want you guys to think about that for a second. You have a bad day. Let's say you go to the barbecue and you hang out with Uncle Joey and Uncle Sarah, right? And you have a couple beers and then you feel like shit about it because you're like, I worked so hard all week and now all my progress is gone. But what if you decided to just wake up the next day and then continue to work on yourself? And that's what I'm trying to help you guys understand here is like, where is the rush to lose the 20 pounds? Where does that come from? Okay, you lose the 20 pounds. Then what? Do we just stop? Do we just give up? What do you guys think? Can we answer that in the comments? Just let me know, please. If you lose the 20 pounds, should you just stop training? Please share that with me in the comments. I'm going to take a sip and then we're going to move forward with this, okay? Oh my God, I love water so much. I love it. It makes me feel so good. Drink your water. Never. The work never ends, Alyssa. The work never fucking ends. Casey, hell no. Yes, I love it, okay? Because here's the thing. It doesn't stop. And that ties into the next point. Number two, shifting into a lifestyle. I'll say that one more time. I want you guys to put that in the comments. What's good, Amy? Shifting into a lifestyle. So then the question becomes, well, how do I make this a lifestyle for myself? And I'll tell you how. Think about this for a second. There's 24 hours in a day. Let's say, for argument's sake, you sleep for 8 hours. Let's say you collectively go to the bathroom for an hour. Okay. We're not going to get into too much of that. Okay. Then maybe another 6 to 8 hours at work, right? Then maybe another hour eating. I'm very bad at math, but I'd venture to say there's probably still another hour or two in your day. And when you zoom out and think about it for a second, you only need 30 to 40 minutes for a decent workout. Maybe an hour. That would probably be beneficial. Maybe an hour. So when you think of it from that perspective, it's only a fraction of your day. So when we're talking about beating the mindset of this one bad day erases your progress, how to make this lifestyle shift into really embodying fitness. Because again, I fucking hated the gym for a very long time. So making this shift into understanding how to do this forever is coming at it from a different angle. It is a fraction of your day. So even if you have family in town, I'd venture to say that family sleeps. And if they sleep, what if you decided to get up an hour earlier and just do your workout first thing in the morning before they woke up? And when you came home, you decided to have a good breakfast as everybody's getting up and you're still able to be fully present with your family and friends. What if, just entertain that thought, what if that was a reality for you? Where you didn't feel like you needed to be crippled towards this diet and this really difficult way of living, because it doesn't have to be that way. I think there's this really huge misconception in the space that like being on a fitness journey and losing weight has to suck. What if it doesn't have to suck? What if it could be fun? What if it could be enjoyable and something that you look forward to every single day? I personally do not feel the same when I don't move my body. I don't. But it hasn't always been that way. It's the same thing for you guys. So if you're trying to break free of this mindset, well, one bad day erases my progress. You know, I fell off track this weekend. I was really bad. Man, if I had $1 for every time I heard that, I was really bad this weekend. What does that mean? What does being really bad mean? That sounds like you have a very negative idea on what you should be doing. Maybe you just lack clarity on what that is. Maybe you don't understand what's right and what's wrong. And that's what I'm here to help you understand. Now, I'm not going to be breaking down every single aspect of your journey, but if you could just approach these things a little bit differently and you just start to think of it in a different light, that's going to help you tremendously. Because even if you had family and friends in town, like, I'll be honest, when I was back home in New York in April for my mom's birthday, I had family from out of state in town. I didn't fucking miss. I went to the gym in the morning and I got my meals in. And we would go to restaurants. I would make different decisions. They were drinking a bunch of alcohol. I wasn't. Even if my uncle was to listen to this and my dad were to listen to this episode, they know what I'm doing and they respect that. So then it's like, well, if your environment isn't respecting that, maybe that's a different conversation to have with them, right? I didn't miss. I traveled, didn't miss. I brought food with me, tracked my macros beforehand. I even fucking got steps in the airport. That's how I think of it because it's ingrained in me. Again, yes, maybe I'm a competitor and I think about it a little differently than the average person, but why can't you just take a fraction of that and apply that to your life? It doesn't have to suck. Next point, number 3, I want you guys to put this in the comments. Number 3, there's no rush. I'll say it one more time. Number 3, there's no rush. Why are we rushing? Why are you trying to sprint to this result? I'm pausing here because I'm just genuinely curious. Where does this come from? Why are we sprinting? Why can't we enjoy the process? Because here's the thing. We want the end result. But really, most of the fulfillment comes in the journey and the process of it, not the end result. Because the issue is we want the end result of maybe losing 20, 30 pounds, right? Feeling really good. But what if you can enjoy every moment along the journey? Why can't you enjoy it right now? Why do we have to delay our happiness to getting the end result, to getting the dream house, the car, the relationship, all these things? I have really found a lot of peace in trying to enjoy the present moment. And that comes from practicing gratitude. You can't change your state if you're always being pessimistic. You can't. Does that make sense? There's no rush. There's no rush. Tuba, what's good? Live podcast episode, Tuba. I think this is the first time you tuned in. Maybe on Instagram. Maybe you've been on TikTok. I'm not sure. Talking about how one bad day doesn't erase your progress. For those who have been here for the whole time, let me know if that's valuable so far and drop some fire emojis. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is. This is important things that we have to really discuss here because I feel like this can make a tremendous difference in your life, right? Because if you're constantly trying to delay your happiness and you're saying things like, I'll be happy when I lose the 20 pounds, chances are you probably won't. You have this idea in your mind that your journey is supposed to look a certain way, that you're supposed to feel a certain way when you get these results. But I'll be honest, I've experienced a lot of really good things in my life, and they really don't feel as good as you think they're going to. And that may burst your bubble and make you feel like shit, but that's what I'm trying to help you realize. You're beating yourself into Jesus. You're beating yourself into the ground every single day. You're trying to grind and grind and grind for this result. But what if you could just enjoy the process? What if it doesn't have to suck? And I'm saying that a bunch of times because I really wanted to sink in for you guys here for a second. We're constantly trying to put ourselves in this mindset of, well, if I work harder, I'll get more results. Yes, the more effort you put into your fitness journey, the more you're going to get out of it. But foundationally, what if you woke up every day and you were really liking the things that you're doing? You didn't feel like you needed to be on a diet to see results. You need to cut carbs and do all this cardio. It's just not fun. And if it's not fun, it's not something you're going to want to do. And if you don't want to do it, it's not sustainable. And that's what I feel like the biggest issue is with a lot of people. They're like, oh, well, I need to try keto. I need to try Nutrisystem. I want to lose 30 pounds for this wedding. Yes, it's great to have goals. I'm not shitting on that in any way, but I just want to help you guys shift your mindset a little bit and understand that you can enjoy the entire journey as well. And you don't have to rush towards that. Yes, being strategic and being methodical with what you're doing is also important, but just allow yourself to have fun. Like if you take nothing else from the episode, like I pride myself on trying to make fitness fun. And I've said that before. Maybe I should make hats that say, let's make fitness fun again. Maybe I should do that. And maybe I will. But I really just want to shed light on that because I struggled for so long. And you guys don't have to do that. You don't have to feel that way. And then bonus tip, last one, right? When it comes to one bad day, erase your progress. I want to put this to bed for good. Bonus tip. Walking after meals. Walking after meals. Bonus tip. Now, the reason I wanted to share this one with you is because that is something that is just so easy that you could literally apply to your life the rest of your days that would help you stay in shape. It literally would. And there's a lot of science behind it with energy expenditure and digestion and getting steps in and why it's important for NEAT. If anyone doesn't know what NEAT is, it stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And what that means is basically keeping your body burning calories. So that's why for my clients, a lot of times we're just focused on steps. We're just trying to move your body continuously because what that's going to do is help increase your BMR, your basic metabolic rate, which basically over time is the amount of calories that you're burning at rest, which the most optimal way to do that is resistance training, because through resistance training, you're able to build more muscle. And if you have more muscle on your body, the higher your BMR is. So think about it this way. If you're constantly getting stronger in the gym and you're building more muscle, then you're going to burn more calories at rest. And if you burn more calories at rest and you continuously keep your daily energy expenditure high with getting more movement, not putting a lot of tax on your joints with running, which is going to help keep your stress low if you're just walking. That's why I'm so big on walks, especially after meals. Because if you walk after meals, not only is that going to improve your digestion, right? But it's going to help increase the energy expenditure, keep everything moving. It is just so good. It's not taxing on the joints. It keeps the stress low. It is just like a hack, and it's just easy to do. It's just easy to do. So to recap really quick, one bad day does not erase your progress, and these 4 tips are going to drastically help you do that. To recap, number 1, it is not a marathon. It's not a sprint. I almost said it's a marathon. Well, I fucked that up. God damn it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I had that backwards. Okay. So we covered that. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Just doing something each day is really important. Number 2, shifting into a lifestyle is just changing the way that you think about it. Just changing the way that you think about it. You only need a fraction of your day. Just 1 hour out of the day. There's 24 hours in the day. Just 1 hour out of the day. Last point, number 3, there's no rush. Take a breath. Even if you get the results, there's still work to be done. So don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. It's just about continuing to get back on the horse, even if you slip up. And then bonus tip, walking after meals. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for spending a couple of minutes with me. Hope you got some value from this episode. If you did, let me know. Peace, love, and protein. We'll see you in the next one. I cut that one very close. All right. What'd you guys think of that one? That was a little lengthy. That'll probably be like a half-hour episode. Let's see what we got here. Was that a half hour? 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, 20 minutes. 20 minutes. It's crazy, man, because I literally used to think that public speaking was my biggest fear. For those who don't know, that actually was a real thing for a long time. Excuse me. Sarah, I always struggle with going overboard or not doing anything at all. Sarah, that is exactly what we were talking about here. I'm not sure if you just tuned in or if you got some value from that, but I will shoot you a follow. And if you want, let me know. You do repeat yourself a lot, but it's all good. Thank you, Laura. The reason I repeat myself purposely, because I don't want to just say things and then skip over it. I repeat things for a reason because I know if I repeat it, it will sink into your mind. And also, like, I know some people do like to take notes. I know Casey loves to take notes. So sometimes if I repeat it back, it gives you a chance to write it down, because they do say that writing things down helps increase the retention in your brain times like 7. I could be botching that completely, but there's a lot of science behind that. If you write something, you'll remember it down. That's why in school we're always told to like take notes, because if you actually take a pen to paper and write it down, chances are you're going to remember it a lot more. So Laura, that's why I purposely repeat myself. Okay. But Sarah, I hope you got some value from that. Let me know. Shoot me a message. I can't stop eating charcuterie boards. They are really good. But just maybe having some better things on the plate. Maybe you have more of the fruits instead of the cheeses, you know? Not me. All right. I feel like I'm kind of losing my voice here, and I'm super hungry and I need to get my next meal in. I have an entire board filled with notes from Sal. Casey, thank you. I appreciate that. I know you tag me every day, and I really, it means a lot to me. Thank you guys. I know there's a lot of my clients that listen to the podcast, and I appreciate you guys tremendously. Value walking after a meal is a habit I'm going to take. Just got done hearing Atomic Habits on Spotify. This all tied together. Love the notes and repetition. Thank you. I am so thankful that you got something from that. Sarah, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'm going to go bounce because I'm super hungry and I have another call to get on. But what is today? Tuesday. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to record tomorrow. I'll kind of play it by ear because I have a bunch of meetings tomorrow. But I'll let you guys know and hope you have the best day ever. We'll chat soon. Peace.